serious? What is the biggest secret you've kept from your parents? I make more money than I'll let on. My parents have and will always be the I take care of you all your life, time for you to pay it back type of parent. Except there is no end to this debt, so I hide money from them so they can't take advantage of me. I recorded Gundam Wing, endless waltz over my sister's high school graduation video. It's been about 18 years, but I still feel bad. I met the guy my mom told me was my real father. We did a DNA test and there is a 0% chance. He even took me on a whitewater rafting trip with his wife and son. I've never told her that I was molested as a kid and suicidal for years afterwards. They knew I had a nervous breakdown freshman year of high school and was suicidal at 15. They didn't know I'd been messed up since I was 10. Being sexually abused by my cousins, which my mom would leave me at their house to go to the casino a lot as a kid. My dad doesn't know that I was suspended due to grades for a semester in college. That I used to sneak out of the house from our second-story bathroom window to go night clubbing with my friends after my parents went to bed. I am fully aware of my father's extramarital affairs. That I'm not going to finish my degree and I've paid off my student loans. My degree was pointless and I don't do well in school due to my ADHD. My dad constantly asks when I'm going to finish and stop bartending. I just say soon. I hate disappointing them because my dad gets very proud of my sister and I with our accomplishments. But truth be told, I'm quite content with the 60k I make bartending. My degree would have only pulled 35k starting. Stole money for weed and regret it to this day. My lazy ass should have just gotten a job instead. My mum doesn't know I've been arrested twice, one time with my dad. When I was in the 7th grade I started to get into porn and my favorite, for some reason, was guy on guy stuff even though I'm a girl. Anyways, I didn't know how anything but YouTube worked so I ended up downloading like 3 gay porn videos on my phone and I had an Android so when I deleted the videos the download history was still in my phone. For some reason my mom took my phone and went through it and sat me down and asked me about the porn she found on it. But for some more context I had to keep my phone in the living room at night and could only have it during the day. Now I'm not proud of this but I'm a good liar. But in this situation I didn't have to do much lying because as soon as I started crying and saying I didn't do it she immediately believed me and blamed it on my stepdad, saying that she had a suspicion that he was gay through their whole relationship and all that. After that she never confronted him and just continued to stay with him even though she thought he was gay and that's when I realized my mom was a gold digger. I was heavily addicted to morphine for my entire time at university. When I was at Walmart with my mom, and I stole 2 of those big cartons full of Pokemon cards, took the cards and stuffed them in my back pocket. I planned the whole robbery a week before. I was the best robber at 9. When I was around 14 I overheard my parents arguing. My mom was yelling at my dad about some porn searches on the computer. It was really me that was going on the computer in their room and watching porn. He kept denying it and she kept calling him a liar. He slept in the guest bedroom for a month after that fight. I actually did know why my laptop wasn't working. I spilt a fair bit of Jack Daniels on it. My depression and the fact I nearly failed out of first year because I couldn't handle university. I used to watch South Park when they thought I was sleeping. I was accused of rape when I was 17, legally an adult in Texas so they didn't have to tell them and a detective took my phone for the school day to verify the texts proving the encounter was consensual were real. Really weird time in my life, having to deal with the fallout at school and not telling them the truth. My location for the past 25 years. That my sister is gay. She openly admits it to everyone, except for my family. She opened up to me, eventually, but both my parents and older brother don't know about it. Since then we've become a lot closer than when we were kids. I have been keeping the fact I was sexually assaulted at 13 a secret for years. When I was 17 I rented Not Another Teen Movie, watched it and returned it without them finding out. They wouldn't have approved. My parents divorced when I was 8. My dad left, and I never saw much of him, among other issues. He came out to my brother and I before they divorced. I never told my mother that he was gay. My father passed in 2011, my mother in 2017. I think she had an idea, but we never discussed it. He was born in 1945, before such a thing was accepted, and attempted at passing. I was a high-functioning depressed alcoholic for my whole college life. My dad traded him being killed for sexual favors with me for an extended period of time when I was a teen. I told my mom about some of the smaller stuff and she didn't believe me, so I didn't even try. My husband is supportive. I lost my virginity to a stranger on Craigslist back when they still had a personal section. She was 10 years older than me, had a kid about half my age, divorced, and lived in a town about a 2-hour drive away. I didn't care. I was 17 and horny. I snuck out after they went to bed, drove 2 hours there, met her at an agreed upon location, had actually not bad sex in the back of her minivan, thanked her for the experience, drove back home, and got back inside and in my bed all before morning. In hindsight, I was stupid and reckless at quite a few steps of this whole scenario, and lucky she was who she said she was and not really a man, or an axe murderer or WE, but it actually turned out alright. This was over a decade ago now and I've still never told them, even if there's not much they could do about it anymore. Never told my friends or classmates either, not that they would have believed me anyways. Let this be a lesson, guys. You're a lot less likely to get caught doing stuff if you can resist the urge to brag about it. Parents are, and raised me to be, staunch Mormon. For those unfamiliar, Mormons believe their church is the only true church on earth. I don't believe it's true. They think I still go, but it's infrequent at best. Edit. A lot of people are commenting, don't all religions think they're true? Yes, but there's a difference. Mormons believe themselves to be Christians, but don't believe that's enough. Part of being the one true church means that you have to be baptized in this church, proper authority. This church has living prophets. You have to get married in a temple to get to the top step of heaven, and so forth. Stepping away from the church, even within the realm of Christianity, still means damnation to Mormons. Edit 2. By damnation, I mean this. Mormons don't believe general people go to hell. Hell is reserved for people who had a full knowledge of Jesus Christ and rejected it. Rather, because Mormons believe they can become gods if they reach the tippy top of the 3 heavens, where they can have eternal progression. Anything short of eternal progression is, by definition, damnation. My mom always wondered why I didn't have friends in high school, and it is because we were broke and I knew she was struggling, so I refused anytime people wanted to do things so I wouldn't ask for money. Then in my last year of high school I worked full-time, so I had no time to make friends. That I constantly fantasized about murdering my verbally and physically abusive stepfather and then killing myself when I was a teen. He treated my mom like shit, and one day he punched me in the face for not washing my dirty dishes, which left a permanent gash above my eyebrow. I was really depressed and wanted to die, so I thought that I may as well take him with me. I always tried to talk myself into finding some way to kill him, but I never could go through with it. Closest I ever came to doing something was when he was asleep on the couch and my mom was gone to work. I grabbed a knife from the kitchen and just stood over him for a few minutes, contemplating if I should do it or not. Of course, I never did. Thankfully, he and my mom separated less than a year after that incident. My depression was minimized tremendously after that. Seriously though, fuck that guy. I just pay escorts to show as my girlfriend so they would stop telling their friends to hook me up with their daughters. Every gathering they would show up, meet everyone, and always have to leave early. I pay by hour. I got someone pregnant and I'm pretty sure she kept the baby and didn't tell me. I sold pot in high school, which is nothing compared to your stories because, damn, this is the darkest thread I've ever seen. I'm sorry this world is shit. Hopefully you all find serenity. That I'm diagnosed bipolar. I'm gonna use an alt for this one. I planned on ending my life on a school trip overseas. I was really having a bad time and my head was filled with such bad thoughts and I wanted them to go away. I didn't do it, as you can tell. I didn't want to ruin the trip for everyone else. I couldn't imagine telling my parents. Only one person knows, but you guys know now, lol.